Good evening, Cebu. Good evening, Philippines. Tonight we have the beautiful and the ravishing Queen of Cebu Universe 2011, Miss Bee Urgello.
Hi, Mike. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's my pleasure.
I've always wanted to be part of this show, and I've always wondered when I'm going to be part of it. Maybe an issue, something about LGBT that
Yes.
would come up. I'll be invited, so that's why I'm here.
And it's right, no? I invited you because you are a leading figure, no? You're a popular figure, a popular LGBT figure in Cebu. Not just because of your title as Queen of Cebu Universe, but because you have a lot of followers, on social media.
Social media.
Your photos go viral. You have the most number of likes. You have a lot of fans from the young Beckies.
From the young Beckies, a lot of them, they really they see me as an inspiration, and I get a lot of inquiries or messages from them asking about tips on how to beautify themselves, or tips on how to overcome low self-esteem.
Oh, that's good.
And I would make sure that I would answer those questions. It's my little way of helping them.
Let's talk about that later. That's a very, I think it's very important that they have someone to look up to, especially
Yes.
that, there's still a stigma in what young boys have to go through, coming out and trying to, bloom into
Some of them even
the women that they dream of becoming.
They dream of becoming. Some of them would even ask, Miss B, can you sponsor my boob job?
Oh, really?
Like, oh, darling, I don't even have those.
Okay, but yes, you're right. You're here because there's a
Ongoing issue.
An ongoing LGBT issue involving none other than the Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, di Manny Pacquiao.
Yes, Pacman, no?
Pacman. Pambansang kamao.
Pambansang kamao.
People's champ.
People's champ. According to some LGBT advocates, dili kamao, ang kamao, ang pambansang kamao. So, have you seen the clip?
Oh yes, I have.
Wait, before anything, before you react, let's review the clip.
Oh, we're gonna watch it again.
I know it's horrible.
It's gonna be painful again.
But let's watch it for the sake of
I
everyone.
will have to go
for
through
context.
this.
Yes.
Common sense lang. Makakita ka ba ng any animals na lalaki sa lalaki o babae sa babae? Mas mabuti pa yung hayop. Marunong kumikilala kung lalaki o lalaki, babae, babae. Di ba? Ngayon, kung lalaki sa lalaki o babae sa babae, mas masahol pa sa hayop ang tao.
All right.
Okay.
What do you say to Manny Pacquiao?
I thought I would get used to that, but
Masahol pa sa hayop. But because according to him, animals, at least animals can tell the difference between male and female. But even that is wrong. I think there's two things.
I grew up watching Discovery Channel and the National Geographic, and there has always been studies and there's always been proof that homosexuality exists in a lot of animals.
In the animal kingdom, yes.
And-
Leia Salonga tweeted, no?
I read that tweet.
Beautiful tweet, no?
Beautiful.
That homosexuality exists in like
whatever number of species,
but homophobia exists only
in one.
Beautiful.
Humanity.
Yeah, touche, but I think you have to dissect the statement, at least that particular statement of Manny, into two. First is the claim, which is more scientific.
It was, yes.
Yeah, that there's two things he's invoking: is science and religion.
Science and religion.
The science of it is really wrong. Definitely.
Definitely wrong. Totally wrong.
We don't have to debate about it. It was completely ignorant because yes, animals exhibit homosexual behavior. In fact, lions are known to be homosexual. That's why I'm wearing this.
Roar.
So lions are known to be homosexual. I read that they band together and they copulate. They do it.
And also dolphins.
Yes.
And What about incest with animals? It occurs, sisters to sisters.
Yeah, but
fathers
let's not
to-
talk about incest. That's
Yeah,
another
I know,
issue.
it's another issue, but
The church might be. No, but yeah, so there's two aspects to the
of his
statement.
interview.
So that's the
The
science
scientific and the religious
and
one.
the religious. Now, I think the science is obviously wrong. The religious part of it, and it has resulted in not just a backlash from companies. His advertiser, Nike, pulled out
their deal with Manny
today,
They axed it today.
and there's a
And
chance other advertisers might follow suit.
Yeah, it could be
A snowball, no?
there could be a snowball or a domino effect for that.
Yeah, and in fact, some people are really demanding.
And he even has an upcoming fight in April, right? And I don't know how will that work if he's running for the Senate, and there are some certain rules and regulations about that. Like it's it's considered a campaign.
Yes, so it's either he's left with the choice.
He's left with a choice.
Yeah, either
He would choose the big
the
fight,
fight and all the
or-
big bucks, or postpone the fight
and run for
and run for office.
run for office.
But if he proceeds with the fight, he might get disqualified.
he might get booed as well. There's a possibility.
But maybe for the money, never mind the booing. Maybe. No? But yeah, he's gonna be booed even by his fellow Filipinos. No, but the firestorm that his statements have generated seems to it's not just limited to the backlash on Manny, but on Facebook we see that there is a great divide. No?
It's everywhere in Facebook, and to be honest, I see it everywhere in my news feed, and there are some people who are considered yes, they're still friends of mine, but after this incident, it came out what they really felt about the LGBT community, and it's somewhat it hurts a little when you read their posts that they're quoting Bible verses and stuff, and it's a sin, and you yourself, you know that they've done
Worse.
worse.
Worse. Yeah, and so it's a lot of interesting posts. Some scientific, some religious. Like some would say, for example, and I think it makes perfect sense. Adultery is in the Ten Commandments,
It is.
but homosexuality is not.
It's not. And the Ten Commandments are the Ten Commandments.
Commandments.
They're written in stone.
Yes, and then Jesus came after in the New Testament, and he said that the greatest commandment is to love one another. So
That loving includes acceptance and respect.
tolerance, yeah, and even more than tolerance, it's
More than tolerance.
sensitivity and compassion, no?
Compassion.
But and in fact, Alma Moreno has probably a better
Yeah.
opinion than Manny Pacquiao. Did you read in the news? Because they're running under the same slate, under
Binay.
Binay, under UNA, under the United Nationalist Alliance. I think that's what it's called. Alma Moreno basically said that while she is personally against same-sex marriage as a Catholic, it's just for her. It's not something.
It's a personal choice.
Yes, it's not something that she will use to judge other people, and that she even went on to say that she knows of a lot of decent gays.
Yes.
In
the community.
Yes, who pay the right taxes, who've made solid contributions to different industries,
Especially in
different
the
sectors.
entertainment industry where she belongs.
Yes, and then she said she included the business community, the academia, and even politics, and that at the very least they deserve respect, and that once
in
religion
that aspect.
Yeah, and she said that at the very what do you call this? That one's beliefs should never be used to insult others.
Exactly, it's something personal. I have my own personal beliefs, and I'm not gonna force you to accept them. You have your own beliefs, I have mine. I respect yours, you respect mine. That's it. And Manny Pacquiao, they always defended him that he has a right to have his own opinion. But to be it was below the belt. That opinion was really insulting.
But do you think that maybe it's a good thing because at least the issue of discrimination and rights as regards the LGBT community is now at the forefront of the national consciousness.
It could be like a wake-up call for everyone, and also for those planning to vote for him, it could also be a wake-up call for them to see what the man is capable of.
But the fundamentalist Christians, I think, are going to vote for him because of that.
The devout,
yes,
self-righteous ones.
Personally, I think it's a very complicated issue. There's a part of me that actually, at the risk of being, bashed myself, there's a part of me that appreciates a part of what Manny is doing. Just a part, okay? And what part is that?
What part is that?
The part where he is willing to lose money, support,
yes,
for his faith.
For his faith.
I appreciate that. But, and I have to qualify it. As a Catholic, as a devout Catholic, I think it's nice to, martyrdom, if you die for your faith, that's the most beautiful death. The most beautiful stories are the stories of the Catholic saints who died for their death, for their faith.
You sacrifice.
Yes, but I have to qualify it. Let's also remember that that jihadists and terrorists are those who are willing to die to kill other people for their faith.
For their faith, which is ongoing right now.
Yeah.
And
it's a fundamentalist thing. I mean, it's too extremist.
Very extremist.
Yeah.
And I think there should be a separation between I think that's what we're supposed to be, the Philippines. There should be a separation between the church and the state.
Yeah, there actually is. It's in the Constitution. But as a matter of practice, I think the church still... whatever church it is, no?
Yes, because of the influence of our Catholic Church.
Yeah, but the thing is, Manny Pacquiao is not Catholic.
He's not. I think it's born again, right?
Yes.
He transferred from one.
And he started becoming more outspoken
about his faith after he
quoting the Bible,
quoting Bible verses and stuff.
Leviticus, his favorite chapter, his favorite book.
Leviticus. It says something about don't wear this kind of fabric, and don't eat shellfish or
blood or whatever.
Then we're all sinners to begin with, and we all have sinned.
And you're not supposed to have tattoos. Manny Pacquiao has a lot of tattoos.
Oh yes, he does. He does. Yes, he does.
It's unfortunate that someone who has brought us so much pride is now in the middle of all of this, but he brought it upon himself.
He brought it upon himself, but that never took away the respect I have for him for bringing glory to our country. Let's face it, Manny Pacquiao is known to be a world-renowned boxer, a world-renowned athlete who has given so much pride to the Philippines. He is known for his powerful might, his bronze, not his brains.
That's why, anyway, let's continue the conversation, but at this point we have to pause for a short break. We're back here on Open Mic with Bee Urgello.
Hi.
Wow.
Wow, we've tackled a lot of issues already in the first half.
LGBTQ. Are you active? I mean, because you can be gay and not be a gay activist,
yes,
right? But you have a group, right?
Yes, I do have a group. It's called Transgender Colors. Mm-hmm. It's the Coalition for the Liberation of the Reassigned Sex. It is a group for transgender women here in Cebu.
Okay.
And what we do is we educate the younger ones, especially about HIV or about hormones or sexual orientation and gender identity, because it can be somewhat confusing. I myself was confused at one point. I considered myself gay before I attended a particular seminar about that.
But you're not gay.
I'm a transgender woman.
And it's different from a transsexual.
Transsexual is more on the physical aspect. Like if you have
sexual reassignment
you
surgery.
have undergone sexual reassignment surgery.
Will you?
Oh no, I've never done that yet. I'm not closing my doors, but as of now, I'm really happy and contented with my life
As a transgender
as a
woman.
transgender woman.
Meaning you identify yourself as a woman.
I identify myself as a woman.
You go to a female restroom.
Yes, I do.
So that's the T in the LGBT.
Yeah, that's the T.
And then there's IQ.
There's it's LGBTIQ.
What
there's
does
been
I
a-
and Q mean?
I is for intersex. It is
What
for
is
people who are. It's a physical aspect. It's a hermaphrodite. It's for those who are
okay.
born.
So that's actually biological.
It's actually biological. It can be quite confusing for them because they were born female and were raised as girls, but later on during puberty,
They become
they develop
more prominent
masculine aspects.
And then the Q.
The Q is it can stand for those who are questioning, or for those who are queer.
What do you mean questioning? Someone who is not sure?
They're not yet sure, or they
Like
they consider themselves as curious.
Oh. Like the bi-curious. It's
something
that's
like
questioning.
that. And questioning.
And then the queer is?
Queer is they don't consider themselves to be part of any gender. They are in the middle.
Okay.
They don't consider themselves male or female.
What about somebody who does not believe in labels?
I think that can be. I know someone. Queen Mela is Gara. She doesn't believe in labels.
So she's not transgender.
I believe she is, but she prefers not to put a label to it.
So what pronoun do I use when addressing Melo? He or she?
Queen. She's a queen.
I know, but in the
she.
she. Okay, because that can be confusing.
Yeah, it can be
Yeah.
very confusing, especially for
Layman.
regular laymen.
Yeah. Do you get
It's even
offended?
confusing for us.
Yeah. Do you get offended if people say sir?
Actually, before I seldomly get confused as a sir, only when I have to show.
Of course, because you look very female, no?
I have to show my ID. That's where the
Your driver's license.
That's where the confusion begins, and the weird stares and that awkward moment.
Do you get held up in immigration or whatever?
Oh, a lot in Hong Kong, and
Because your name in the passport is
it's Robert Philip or Helio, and
But your photo is this.
it's this, and I was in America one time, and they're not really that knowledgeable, or they can't really tell.
Yes, that's right.
So when he saw my passport, he was like, "Wow, must be pretty strange of your parents to give a pretty girl like you a name like Robert Philip."
Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts. So, but do you think it's right for transgender women? Because I think I know some who get offended when they're addressed as sir. Do you think it's right for them to get offended, or they should allow some room for people to get used to it? Because
yeah, they can get offended, but sometimes you would know if that person who called you sir did it intentionally,
to offend you, okay?
or he's just plain ignorant. And you could take that chance to educate him or her.
That's
that when a person makes an effort to dress as a woman, to look like a woman, address them as ma'am, or use female pronouns, and the same way goes for people who makes an effort to look like a guy.
my Boy Abunda is a very good friend of mine, and he's very passionate. No? He's
Oh, I saw his.
beautiful, no?
Yeah,
But
I've never seen him that.
so impassioned. Yeah.
God, I was amazed at the same time, and he's
Humanity.
always diplomatic. Like he's like in neutral, always in the in between. But
You crossed the line.
okay pang maging hayop, marunong magmahal, something like that.
And then he said, "This is my humanity. You have no, parang over my humanity, something like that."
Who could forget common sense? Common sense.
But see, boy, I remember, because we talk about the issue a lot, and in fact we disagree in certain points, but we just respect each other's views. But for example, before homosexuality and being transgender was classified as mental illness.
Yes, before it was.
Yes.
While I was still a nursing student, it was still
And then
under the diagnostic manual.
And they took it
So
out.
while we were discussing about it in psychiatric nursing, everyone was looking at me and so B, you have a psychological problem, because during that time it was still classified as a psychological illness, and I think 2 years after it was removed.
Yeah, but my question is this, because and it might sound ignorant, no?
Yes.
And even if I'm a member of the community in a way, no? I mean, not active, but because some of my gay friends, especially the activist ones, are offended at the idea of homosexuality or especially transgenderism, or what do you call it, or the state of being transgender as a mental illness, and they see it as a form of discrimination.
Yes.
But doesn't it mean that when you use it, if you think it's derogatory and discriminatory, aren't you also discriminating against mental illness in general as something discriminatory? Because that is a separate issue, yes, but we're also trying to advocate for more understanding toward mental illness as a whole, because I honestly think all of us, we have some sort of mental affliction in varying degrees,
Yes,
no?
yes.
But most of us now are functional. But when we-
That is the reason why they removed it, because as long as you can function normally in the society, then you don't have any mental illnesses.
yeah, but why was it seen then as discriminatory? If I think in my point of view, if you see something as discriminatory, then that is a bad thing. Mental illness, for example, is a bad thing. Then it's also tantamount to saying that anyone who's mental illness, aside from being gay, if it were part of the list, then it's also being discriminatory towards them. So that's my point. But going back, what do you think? Do you think it's a mental illness or no?
I don't think so.
Because some people opine that it's kind of like you can be a functional. Like some people who have bipolar disorder or
Yes.
ADHD, they're productive members of society, but
we don't take meds to lower down our emotions or something, or
that's
to
true.
control
It-
us.
it cannot be
It
cured.
cannot be cured.
It cannot be cured because that's
There is no treatment
There's no
or
treatment, yeah.
therapy for
Yeah.
it.
But some people,
Natural.
especially I was reading comments from the mentalist Christians, and of course they try to invoke science, and they say, how can it not be a mental illness when there is to a certain degree some delusion. You were born a boy, and then you claim and to hell with everyone else, I'm a girl.
Yes.
And when you ask something, I'm a woman trapped in a man's or trapped in a man's body, something like that. So that they say it's a delusion. What do you say to that?
I don't think it is. It can, some might mistake it as a delusion, but it's not. It's who we are. It's how we feel inside. It's what we are made of. We may have some physical aspects of the male anatomy, but deep down we have the feelings and emotions of a woman.
I'm just gonna play devil's advocate, okay? Hope you don't mind. Like, for example, if I claim that I believe that I'm a bird. But I'm really a bird. I can't fly because I don't have the wings. But I really feel I'm a bird, and I want to be classified as a bird. Some people might think I have mental illness.
Probably.
No, that's what I'm saying. That I think that's where they're coming from.
Yes.
But that's trying to box the issue, right? That's trying to box the issue.
That's humanity. It's so diverse.
The most important part is gays. I think the world over, there is already recognition, but there are still places, no, where
There are still
it's
places.
outlawed.
In Mandaue, they have already approved the
Also,
LGBT
Cebu City,
code.
right?
Cebu City is still in the process. It's been kind of shelved for a few years now, but
Okay, but there are countries where it's outlawed, diba?
there are countries where it's
Yeah.
outlawed.
What does the anti-discrimination code give a gay person? Does it give a gay person, like say a transgender woman, does an ordinance like that give a transgender woman, for example, the chance to, amend his or her birth certificate to reflect that she is a woman?
For now, that is not yet part of it, but they're working on that. For now, if you get discriminated, you can report that incident, and the person who discriminated against you can be fined.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that's what it is.
So far right now, that's
Not yet the chance to change your gender in public documents.
And yes, public
Okay.
documents. But it's still in the process. Slowly by slowly, it'll improve and more rights will come along.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of discrimination, so again, going back to Boy, it's really something that is very close to his heart. And sometimes I tell him, I don't understand, but I get that he comes from a different time and place, very patriarchal, comes from Samar, so I get that part. But personally, I'm not
Close to his mom, very
Yes.
close to his mom.
and he says that he grew up poor, no? So it's a different challenge growing up for him. But for me, I've never felt discriminated. Maybe I'm just so lucky. I feel for everyone else who has, but
So, when you were in grade school or high school, were you obviously gay or?
I guess so. But
You were never
I think there was an effort to discriminate. My principal, he was a priest, and he called
The attention of your parents?
Yes, but in my case, and I'm not saying it should apply to everyone. In my case, I feel discrimination is a two-way street. I will only feel discriminated by people if I allow them to. So that's me, huh? I'm not saying that it doesn't diminish the discrimination other people do, no? I'm not trying to say that, but in my case, I just didn't let it bother me. But the priests who do that, who call the attention of
Your
parents,
parents?
let me just say it's none of your business. I think it's a sacred thing.
I know how you feel.
You know, diba?
I've been there. I came from a Catholic school,
Yes.
an exclusive.
What were your
all
parents
boys.
called?
Not just by priests, but by faculty members as
It's
well.
none of your business, people. I mean,
As long as it doesn't affect our studies
Yes.
and we are performing well in our scholastic activities, then
and not just that, I think coming out is a very private, very sacred thing. It is between me and my parents. It's not. It is none of your business.
totally none of their
Yeah,
business.
you do not out other people. Like me, for example, and I, I have very sharp gaydar. But when people ask me, is blah 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 gay? Is so and so gay? I don't care to wager a guess because you don't out people.
So, Mike, I'm curious, how did your parents react to that?
Now you're asking me. But we have to pause for this break. I'll answer when we come back. We're back here in Open Mic with Bee Urgello.
Hi.
So Bee, I will answer your question. At that time, I didn't really know what to say. So when they confronted me, I said, I think I just was quiet, and then I decided to leave that school. So I moved because I said, bleep this. I don't need this. I don't deserve this.
Was it an all-boys school?
Yes.
It was an all-boys school.
Yes. I love my classmates, but I'm still friends with them now. But it was a good decision to leave. But I didn't really come out until so many years later. I would bring some of my exes were already in, I would bring them to the house. So it was like an unspoken thing. So I think I eased my parents into it instead of like shocking them. But TV played a very important part. I was invited by Boy Abunda to guest on Private Conversations. That was his show before The Bottom Line. And
you were a commentator there, right?
in Bottom Line. But Private Conversations was just like a one-on-one thing. So I said, okay, fine. I just left. I was still in government, and there were certain issues in government that I exposed, and said, can I interview you about your expose? I said, okay, sure. And then I got a call from his production. I said, see, Sir Mike, Sir Boy is asking if you can do it live. I said, oh, sure, why not? It should be more exciting if it's live, live telecast. And then it dawned on me, oh my gosh, it's Private Conversations, and so it can be, questions can be very private. And if Boy asks me, as he has other people, are you gay?
He's very straightforward.
I know.
Yes.
And I can never lie.
You can.
I can never lie especially in front of the whole country watching. I mean, they don't know me, but still, no. I don't want to lie. I can never lie. So I said, oh my gosh.
So did he ask you the question?
Okay, this is it. 30 minutes, because I don't want to shock my mom, I called her before I went on air.
Okay.
So, Ma, and then she says, this is like you're interviewing me now, no? But, Ma, and she says, oh, are you gonna go? Is it a go? Is it is it gonna air? I go, yes. But and then she has all these questions. I go, no, wait. And my heart was pounding like crazy, and probably the most nervous I ever was. And I said, Ma, wait, can I just say this? So yeah, if Boy asks me if I'm gay, I have to tell him the truth. And she fell quiet, and she said, but why would he ask that? It's private. It's called Private Conversations. And then she says, I don't think I'm ready to watch that, but I'll pray for you for the show.
So she wished you good luck.
Yes, and I said, okay, thank you. And Boy never asked. I wish he did.
So they sort of like confess ahead.
Yes. I came clean even before that. And then when I returned to Cebu the following day, I was gonna watch the replay. I watched it with my ex, and then so I went home. I just dropped off my stuff, and then we went to a friend's house, and then I didn't sleep at home. And then the following day, she called me. She was looking for me. I thought you were supposed to be home. I go, yeah. So how was the show? I go, it was fine. Did he ask you? I go, no. Oh, that's good because it's private. And I said, yeah, it is. And then she says, well, but if ever you want to talk about it, I'm just here. And I said, no, it's okay. So that was fine. That was it.
Fine. That was it until now.
Yeah. And then my dad's youngest brother is gay. So he's more used to it.
Yeah. Used to it.
There were times he never confronted me, but there was a time I was teasing him that I thought his friend had a crush on him. Okay. and then he put me on the spot because my ex was there beside me, and he said,
the infamous ex.
Whatever. Anyway, we were chatting last night because I was asking for love advice. Weird, but so anyway, yeah, because we're friends. So my dad was trying to put me on the spot. He said, "Why are you teasing me? Now, can I ask you? What about the two of you? What are you?" I was like, I couldn't answer.
With how conversational you are, you were speechless.
I was speechless because he was teasing me. He was teasing me. So that's how I came out to them. Yeah, it's really funny.
It's a funny story.
But the priest kind of outed me, but it was not official because he was just suspecting.
He was suspecting because you showed some effeminate traits.
He hung out because I hung out with a lot of gay people in school. And so what he did was, because I was a very fast runner, he asked me to join the soccer that's the team, the varsity. And it was like running around with boys and balls. Sorry, it's not helping.
Soccer.
Anyway,
Never mind.
It was very difficult for your parents at first.
It was more difficult for me because it was sad because my parents sided with the faculty members who called their attention about me being gay, and there are like 6 of us in our barkada, and the faculty members would always find ways to separate us. Like,
Wow.
yes, in each, for example, grade 5, grade 6, they would put one per section. So no one is a class, no, if you're all by
at
yourself.
But at least each class is a beauty queen. But do you still see your teachers now?
Yes,
And how are you with them?
they're very proud of me actually.
See?
They're very proud of me. Even some of the religious ones, that they were very proud of me when I won the Queen of Cebu, and when they would see me in newspapers, magazines, and they were like, "That's my student," and they would message me in Facebook and add me.
That's nice, wonderful.
Yeah.
But your parents, when did the tide start to turn for your parents?
They were against it for more than a decade. Oh yes, and
So that's until you're 22.
until even after college, they were against it. And
When did they finally
they said
accept?
that they're okay with me being gay as long as I look decent, like Jun Escario or Boy Abunda, someone that dresses up in menswear.
Okay.
But I tried it. My mom took me on a shopping spree. We bought a lot of menswear, and I really tried it. But when I wore it, I wasn't happy. It felt like I'm putting on something foreign in my body, and I'm pretending to be someone I'm not.
Wow.
Wow.
And then
So we kept on arguing with my mom about that. So this was after I graduated and passed the licensure exam. Yes, and it came to a point that I wasn't happy anymore. I was sad and depressed every day, that I ran away from home. I ran away from home.
how long were you?
I ran away for 2 years.
Wow, that's long.
It's really long.
And you cut ties with them? Like no communication at all?
No communication.
No Christmas, no birthdays?
No Christmas, no birthdays.
Oh my gosh.
For 2 years.
Even with your sister was my classmate in college.
Yes,
Yeah.
She was against me too back then.
Really?
Yes.
And then?
So for 2 years, I rented a small apartment. It's really, really small. And I worked in a call center to support myself. I learned how to ride a jeepney.
Yeah. You gave up so much
I gave up so
for
much.
your identity.
I gave up. I come from a good family.
Yes,
so.
yes,
And so me and my sister were used to the comforts of life.
yes.
And I gave that up. I gave all that up to be free. Even though I'm riding the jeepney, but I'm wearing women's clothing,
You feel.
I'm happy. I'm free. No one is telling me, don't wear that. Don't wear this.
So
Stop that.
between riding the jeepney in a dress and being driven by a chauffeur, but in a man's suit, you'd rather ride a jeepney.
I'd rather ride a jeepney. I'd rather do this.
For 2 years.
For
So when
2
did they
years.
welcome you back? How did it happen?
Actually, it happened on my birthday. I got a call from my mom, and it was
Is it after Queen or before Queen?
everything was before Queen.
Okay.
I got a call from my mom, and she asked me how I was, and it was an emotional call, and she said that she had a birthday gift for me, a trip to Hong Kong. So
But was she shocked to see? I mean, did she already know that you were already like a girl?
Yes, she
When
did.
she called?
Because during that 2 years, on the first year, I had quite, I lost my job. So I had no ways to support myself. So I wanted to go back home. But there were conditions. If you come back home, you have to cut your hair and dress up as a man again. I was like, I'm not gonna let this happen. So I used what's left of my money to buy a copy of Sunstar Sunday edition, or they're all the ones classified. So, and I saw a job fair at the call center, and I applied for it, and I got in. So I'm not coming home.
So there was a time that they saw you, but you were already a girl because.
But we never saw each other. It was on the phone.
So anyway, so they welcomed you back. How was the?
After the phone call, so they said, if you want to go to Hong Kong for your birthday.
No more conditions.
No more conditions, and it was just my mom. So I met first with my mom, and it was very emotional. We were crying, hugging. Mom is
a mom.
And
did she compliment you and your beautiful,
She does.
She has a daughter, another daughter.
Another daughter. She gained a daughter. And yes, it was really a nice feeling. It was just, all I could say is it was love. It was all love.
And then your dad followed suit.
Then after a few months, during that time, me and my mom would go out, have dinner, have lunch, but I was still out of the house. And then come Christmas time, this was on the second year, end of the second year, my mom said that your dad is willing to try to accept you, to understand you. So would you come home for Christmas or at least New Year?
Yeah.
So I was in the BPO industry, so for Christmas I think I wasn't able to come home for Christmas, but for New Year I was there. And when I first saw my dad, he had that facial expression that I really couldn't figure out what it was. It was like
stunned, I guess.
A poker face, a blank face, a confused face, all rolled into one. And I just hugged him. I hugged him.
Beautiful.
And he hugged me back.
Were they there during Queen?
My mom was there. But I went home around 2010. So we had like a family meeting, and they said they're willing to accept me.
No more conditions.
There were small conditions. I can dress as a woman, but as a conservative woman.
There you go. There you go.
Back then, no skirts, no backless, just baby t-shirts and skinny jeans.
But all's well that ends well. So,
Yes.
I think we can liken your struggle, your journey, to the journey of the LGBT community in the Philippines.
Yes.
There's gonna be, there's always a challenge, a tough time.
I never expected my parents would accept me because they come from an old family, a traditional, conservative family. So while I was...
family is family.
Family is family. Blood is blood.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably the best gift God has ever given me.
Your family.
My parents has ever given me, their acceptance. That was the best gift ever.
Thank you, V.
No.
Thank you. Because, this is a very complicated topic. There's a lot of inspiring stories. There's also a lot of sad stories. But, one episode is never enough. Unfortunately, our time is up.
Yes, it is. So,
but I thank you for coming on the show.
And I thank you as well for having me. It is such an honor and a privilege to be part of Open Mind.
Likewise, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thank you, V.
Thank you.
To the LGBT community, Manny Pacquiao, I hope all's well that ends well.
I hope
Yes?
so. I hope everything. At the end of the day, we're all humans, and we just need love and respect. That's it.
Love wins.
Love wins.
Yes. Good night, Cebu. Good night and Godspeed.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.